KAGARIBI's Fushichou. I mentioned in the previous episode I was quite excited, and I still am quite excited about KAGARIBI's Fushichou. However, although this is the best entry in July 2024, mind you, this is not the best entry in the headliner CD series, in the Dear Vocalist franchise. These are two completely different things. The best entry so far in the Dear Vocalist franchise in the specific headliner series is Brave Child's Himitsu. But in this month, the best entry or the best CD is KAGARIBI's Fushichou, and this is a CD that has a couple of surprises going on in there. For starters, KAGARIBI has the heaviest, most violent sound in the Dear Vocalist franchise. They are really my taste. They are aggressive. They have riveting drums. They have shredding guitars. The vocals are raw and aggressive. Although most of the times, if you pay closer attention to the lyrics, it's basically Judah proclaiming his love for his significant other, although the songs are quite aggressive. But up until now, the band was all about these, and they had a couple of instances, for example, with Disappeared, which was more of sort of a ballad, but not necessarily a ballad. It was a bit more electronic, driven, still rock. But in this case, we got completely different things here with Fushichou and Boy. Fushichou, for example, is a rock tune. It is really interesting. It has that aggression that you know about KAGARIBI. However, with the caveat that the sound may sound aggressive, but the lyrics are so obviously romantic that right now we sound softer in his delivery. So this was something that I mentioned in the review, is that he sounds softer in his performance, Judah. In this case, Soma Saito has had to adapt his singing from that edgy, almost faux baritone voice that he had when he started voicing Judah, and basically morphing it into a softer delivery right now as a singer. And he sounds closest to his normal singing voice as a solo artist than he did when he started working as Judah and giving voice to Judah. So this is quite interesting, and I mentioned this in the review, which I found basically to be another showcase of growth, because in some way Judah was so edgy and so aggressive because he was trying to manage anger management issues. He had those when he started, and for 3-4 CDs he was having massive problems with anger management. But as soon as he started to feel closest to his significant other and open up a lot and really fall head over heels for his significant other, he started to change, and he started to be more careful, and he started to avoid being violent and experiencing or basically putting outside or putting down there his aggression, or delivering everything with aggression to the others around him. He's more careful right now, and you know that he's more careful and pensive, and he actually takes time to think that, does it make any sense for me to be aggressive right now? Should I even lose my time being aggressive? Does that person even deserve to have me being aggressive towards them? So he now is more pensive. He managed to control that, and it shows in his music. He's not as aggressive in his delivery. He still packs a lot of power, and he still is charismatic, but he's not as raw and violent as he was when the band started, or the project started. So this is a really good showcase of growth. At the same time, I've mentioned in the two previous releases by KAGARIBI that Judah is actually really open about love and about him being head over heels about his significant other. Is obvious about that in all his songs. All his songs are a declaration of love for that person, in case you haven't noticed. So he's the most romantic out of everyone in the Dear Vocalist franchise. He's the most straightforward as well. And yet again, he was quite straightforward in Fushichou. He's talking about the future and being reborn. So this is quite interesting because he's mentioning his love for you. He's actually pretty open about talking about his love for you, the listener, in case you have the drama CDs. And on the other hand, we have Boy. This is a song that I was not expecting at all. As I mentioned, they are the heaviest band in the Dear Vocalist franchise, so their sound is aggressive, their drums are riveting, the guitars are shredding. So why is Boy so groovy? Because the song is groovy. It brings a lot of elements from disco music in a way. The bass line is punchy and leads the way. The guitars are really funky, the piano is jaunty, and Soma Saito is actually performing as Judah, of course, in a really energetic way, which is odd for Judah. But then again, if you pay close attention to the lyrics, they are romantic, yes, yet again. So this is another side of Judah that perhaps is unlocked due to some specific event within the CD. I have yet to listen to the drama CD. I was waiting to listen to the songs first, because when you are listening to the drama CD, a part of the song is going to be premiered, and I didn't want to spoil that for me. So now that I have wrapped up listening to the songs, I'm going to dive into the drama CD, and this is going to be interesting. So I'm really excited about what we got in there, and honestly, I want to see what happens in the drama CD. I'm really into that story. Right now I'm feeling that story as if I am his significant other. So I want to see where the story takes us next, and see, especially because, mind you, in this season of the Dear Vocalist franchise, we actually have a big change. We have a different scenario writer. So right now the stories in the Headliner series are completely written in-house by someone from Reject, not someone which was working outside of Reject, but to Reject. Right now it is within Reject, someone writing for this franchise. So there's something that is going to change intrinsically about the story. I haven't checked the drama CDs from the other two bands because up until now, well, I haven't purchased those CDs. I have those in my backlog to purchase, potentially for cheap, a bit later down the timeline, because if I have everything from the Dear Vocalist franchise, and you already know that I have some CDs, if I get everything from the Dear Vocalist franchise, I will be broke. So I will have to wait a little bit to get those drama CDs from those bands, but I have purchased of course the songs from now available on Autotoy. In this case, for these, because Judah is my favorite character, once again, you know that this is my favorite character because you've seen the massive collection of merchandise that I have of Judah, especially the pillows. But yeah, I do have a lot of merchandise of Judah, and I am a big fan of his, so I had to get the CD, of course. Well, all in all, when we look at Judah's, or in this case KAGARIBI's Fushichou, there's a lot of things different going on in here, especially the funky, groovy stylings of Boy, and how Fushichou, the title track, is actually quite soft despite the fact that it is quite violent. The lyrics are romantic as always, and this is a side of Judah that I love a whole lot. Now that even he has reined in his anger management, or has reined in his anger and no longer needs to do management, he is the sweetest right now in the franchise, which is odd to say because once again he has that edgy vibe, and he still is quite aggressive towards his guitarist, but you have noticed his growth a whole lot throughout the music, and right now in the 8th season he sounds like he has matured even more. So he's even more mature, more emotional, and the music reflects that. When it comes to the drama CD, I will have to check. I'm quite curious to see what he has there to offer and where the story takes us next. So this was basically my 2 entries in the best of July 2024.